What is the true church? Who is the true church? Herein lies the profound truth we must realize. The crowd that fills the pews on Sunday is not necessarily God's church. Let us open our eyes for a moment. Look around at these massive towers that challenge the very skies. The convention centers where thousands gather. The sprawling edifices of influence. Is this the church that Christ established? Is this the holy assembly about which the Lord promised, "The gates of hell shall not prevail against it"? It brings great pain to admit that, in our times, the institutional church often stands as a failure. To the human eye, it looks like success. If we look at the numbers, we are growing, but if we look through the eyes of God? In the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 24, the Apostle Paul proclaimed a piercing truth to the people of Athens. The God who made the world and everything in it is the Lord of heaven and earth, and does not live in temples built by human hands. Listen closely. God does not live in temples built by human hands. And yet, even today, we try to confine the Almighty within walls of stone and cement. The true church is not the buildings we see, nor the organizations, nor the denominations we defend. Many of today's churches have transformed into financial institutions. They have devolved into tents for the wealthy and the influential. Do you remember what Jesus said when he looked at the magnificent temple in Jerusalem? The time will come when not one stone will be left on another. These empires we build today will one day crumble. Why? Because they are made by man, not by God. So then, what is the true church? Who is the true church? Herein lies the profound truth we must realize. The crowd that fills the pews on Sunday is not necessarily God's church. Not everyone who cries, "Lord, Lord," is a child of God. In the 7th chapter of Matthew, Jesus speaks a verse that should shake us to our core. Many will say to me on that day, "Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?" Then I will tell them plainly, "I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers." Think about it. The ones sitting in the front rows, the ones who performed miracles, the ones who preached, it is to them Jesus says, "I do not know you." Inside these massive movements we see today, there is a vast crowd that does not truly know Christ and whom Christ does not recognize. That is why the visible church, the one made by human hands, is a failure, because within it, the wheat and the weeds grow together. The true church is a small, hidden group within this crowd, a remnant that only God can see. Where then is this true church? It is not a registered movement. It has no name board. As Jesus told the Samaritan woman, the Father is worshipped neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. The Apostle Peter describes this beautifully in 1 Peter 2:5. You also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house. Notice that phrase. God builds his church with living stones. He does not build with lifeless bricks. The true church is a fellowship of humans, hearts washed by the blood of Christ, purified and separated from the world. That fellowship might exist inside a cathedral, or it might be in a thatched shed, or perhaps in the quiet room of a home. Listen, they have no uniform, they have no shared rituals, but they all share one thing. They share the same Spirit, the Spirit of the Father who raised Christ from the dead. In Luke 17:21, Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Yes, the church is not a location, it is a spiritual condition. The church is the people in whom Christ reigns. But today, forgetting the inner man, we polish the buildings. We build up that which is destined to perish. That is why the church on the outside is failing. In this age, human eyes cannot easily identify who a true Christian is. The one dressed in fine clothes, praising with the loudest voice, is not necessarily a true believer. But there is a great comfort. Even if man cannot see, God sees. In his second letter to Timothy, after speaking of the false ones in the church, Paul gives us an assurance. This is our hope. Nevertheless, God's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with this inscription: The Lord knows those who are His. 2 Timothy 2:19. What a beautiful promise. The Lord knows those who are His. Today, while denominations fight, while leaders fall, while the gospel is sold for money, the eye of God rests upon that invisible church. In every corner of the world, in the one who prays in secret with tears, there is God's church. In the one who refuses to deny their faith amidst persecution, there is God's church. In the one who desires no power or position but loves Christ with a pure heart, there is God's church. In the one who resists temptation when yielding would have been easy, clinging instead to God, they are part of this church. Man cannot see this church. It has no membership form, no monthly subscription. Its records exist only in the book of heaven. Even if every system we see today fails, this true church, visible only to God, will triumph. Therefore, beloved, do not be discouraged by the failure of the churches you see with your eyes. Do not search for God merely within walls built by men. The church is you and I. We must do only this. Ask yourself, are you a member of that secret church that only God can see? Is your heart a house of prayer? Is it a marketplace? Or is it the throne of Christ? Let us cast aside the external show. As John 4:24 reminds us, let us become true worshipers who step away from the noise of the crowd to worship God in spirit and in truth. Remember, buildings will crumble, movements will fall, but the children of God, the true church, shall stand forever. My prayer is that you and I may be found in that holy number, in that sacred gathering visible only to God. May God bless you.